What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is Joe. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Oranos, throwing the economic guild down. His name is Tunison. The map is Oasis. And a very spicy matchup here. One of the first ones of this tournament, I believe. And I think this is going to be this matchup we'll see a little bit more in the postseason, most likely, if any Oranos players make it through group stages, that is, because we've got Chemo waiting in the wings and Joe also here with his Ra ready to be utilized at at the drop of notice, any time, any point Joe can drop his Ra out. He could also drop any other of his Egyptian gods out as well and have a fun time. So, we'll see how things are going to go here. Now, the thing here is that more and more, we see that this matchup, Oranos versus Ra, it's very difficult to play from both sides. There's a lot of mind games that go on in this matchup. A ton of mind games that go into this matchup. So the big question is going to be, can Joe work it out here? Can Tunison work it out? So the thing is, what Ra wants to do is Ra wants to not build any military units. Ra wants to go for a fast second town center. Ra wants to get a fast heroic here and have a huge economy. That's what Ra wants first and foremost. Oranos, on the other hand, says, okay, if you do that, I'm going to be able to put crazy amounts of pressure onto you. So they go mass army, right? And then the Ra players say, well, hang on, I can't go and do exactly what I want, so I need to go ahead and do something different. So they start making barracks units and they slow their heroic gauge down. They slow down everything. They make sure they're nice and safe. And then what the Oranos player says is they go, hang on, you're building military units in the classical age, barracks units, you're in the classical age. So instead of me massing units and trying to push in, I'm going to get a fast heroic age and I'm going to start controlling the map with my palaces and having a whole lot of other stuff. And then the Ra player needs to go, hang on, you're not building units. I'm going to go back to my original plan of fast heroic and then have a huge economy and have my huge army going like normal. So there's this kind of wish-wash of decision making that needs to go into it all, into like what the best way to play here from each side of the matchup ends up becoming. And we'll see what Tunison's going to come up with. We do see that Joe's already out on his second hunt right now. He should be fine to eat the majority of that. Same too with Tunison. He's out on his second hunt over here eating his giraffe. Both players are going to eat all that. Should not be able to push either player off of that resource here in this game. We do see the temple now coming up for Joe, as he's going to finish up with those zebra with a handful of villagers left on that position as well. A couple of villagers on wood really early here for Joe. This is interesting. Yes, it's Ra, and yes, getting wood early as Ra makes sense. I guess my guess here is Joe is going for an economic second town center. That's my guess. So, generally speaking here against Oranos, I recommend Ra players to go 4-minute advance or 4:30 at the very latest. Joe here, he's getting his temple up. It looks like he's going for like a 5-minute advance time with these two villagers on wood, which does actually kind of work with Ra, but it can be a difficult time to defend against the pressure that comes through. As Prometheus is already out, Joe going to be advancing here. It looks like he's going for a 345. Okay, 345, a little bit delayed there as the classical age going to be coming through. How many villagers on gold? He's only got 5 villagers on gold here. He's not going for a town center. He can't wait. He's bringing a couple of villagers back. Okay, so he is going for a town center. I'm not sure he's going to have the gold for it, though. We'll throw it down. He's getting pickaxe as well, super early, as the villagers enjoying this location. I'm interested to see if Tunison's going to decide to put pressure onto this straight away with a Valor on his oracles or not, as the oracles are moving forward here. Prometheus almost out. 2 villagers on gold, 2 villagers on wood. Tunison with 180 gold in the bank here. Potentially he's thinking about dropping a town center relatively early in this game as well, which is probably not a bad idea. As we do see the military buildings getting dropped down, counter barracks, military barracks going down. The oracles are in position, but Not really feeling like getting involved just yet. This one, Oracle's going to move forward and check this out. He does spot the villagers here that are going to be moving over onto this location. The Wadget's out. 7 villagers to build up a town center. Going to be completely fine here. Joe, a little bit short on the... on the resources, get himself that early Shadoof out, but he should be having it relatively soon as the Pharaoh gets pulled off of this location. The villagers are simply just going to be shanking away here as the Pharaoh are going to continue to get some good damage done. Picks off 1 Oracle for free, picks off 2 Oracles here. The villagers are going to start getting involved as well as the priest comes over here to start empowering this one. And will he get that Pharaoh alive here as it's at 18 HP, retreating away here as we do see the Wadget attempting to take down those Promethean offspring as the priest gets pulled off of the line there. The Pharaoh's 18 HP. The villagers here going to turn around, shank that Oracle hero down as the Pharaoh's got 9 HP remaining. And the Pharaoh here survives with 5 HP. The Terma coming in, misses the first javelin, and the Pharaoh survives. Oh, you hate to see it, but also you got to say, well, I told you so. We do see an armory coming down. I love this. I love this from Joe. This is exactly what I talk about. Don't put villagers onto this town center. Put the villagers over here onto this gold mine. He's throwing a barracks down, and Tunison is going full send in this classical age. Kind of. Well, it looks like he is. So the barracks is a right move here. The hardest part about this for Joe is to recognize how many units are being built and exactly what Tunison's going to be going for. As you do see a ghost building getting dropped down there by Joe to prevent the units from moving into the main base. My hope here for Joe is that he doesn't build any farms out on that town center here. Does he have Shadoof yet? No Shadoof in just yet, as Joe's wood income seems awfully low. He's got husbandry. He's got pickaxe. He's about to have Shadoof. He needs a little bit more wood to get plow as well. He's got a handful of goats remaining. His armor is just about up. The barracks is coming through. Villagers are getting trained at a slow point. Shadoof now coming through. Do we see any extra? We're still seeing units getting built here for Tunison. This is so aggressive. There's no second town center down just yet. He's not booming. The gold mine situation is going to be really tough for him. Joe's so good at this. He sees this location here on the trees, and he's always going to wall this off. So now he's got over on this location, and he's got over on this location. Now, the one thing that Tunison could do here is he could throw a sky passage over here and a sky passage over here so that he can quickly prevent Joe from getting any second gold mines. As an idea, it's very expensive, especially when you've got no second town center or anything like that. As we see the units pushing through here, going to be looking to try and take down the Wadget over on this position. It's retreating back, as we do see now Tunison just says, I don't care about your town center. I don't care about your tower. I'm coming through. I imagine a shockwave going to come through here. He does utilize that one. Going to start taking down some villages of Joe here. And the villager here, will it get home? Looks like it will not. We do see an attempt from Joe to block Tunison from retreating out here. I mean, maybe Joe shouldn't be doing that, but he does manage to get a little bit more damage done onto these units here as the Pharaoh gets spotted there and he snipes it down with the Terma. Huge find there for Tunison. He did all the damage to it earlier and Joe didn't take the effort to healing that one back up. Joe now almost able to advance to the next stage, just throwing the farms down on this position. He's got the... I mean, if he wants, I don't mind like these farms being these farms here on this town center. These farms here, I mean, it's fine because he's got the walls and the barracks, but it's still kind of like a little bit how you going. I wouldn't really go for it all too often as we see plow coming through for Joe. Second town center now coming up for Tunison very, very late. He's looking to grab that third town center as well. Lots of gold in the bank here. This is about to be able to throw that one down. Rain coming in. Do we see any farms up for Tunison? No, he's still on the goats, so no real problems there for him. As the rain is up for Joe, he's got himself 6 farms over here, plus all the farms on this location. 15 farms over here as the Terma trying to push through here, trying to take the villagers out. As a granary getting taken down on this position as well. But Joe here almost able to go to that next age. As Tunison continues to push through here. Not really able to do all too much. I wouldn't mind seeing a priest get built by Joe. When you think about how much a priest offers in terms of economy, if you've got so the priest gives you 15% extra gather time. So if you've got 10 villagers on a town center, it's like you've got 11.5 villages. If you've got 20 villages on a town center, that's when the priest ends up becoming, or not quite 20, maybe like 15 villages or 14 villages on one drop site. That's when the priest starts paying for itself in terms of population. But obviously, you don't care about the population at this point. Just getting the extra villager out is really useful in terms of the extra priest. And this is something we see players like Chrono JJ doing quite nicely. Just get the extra priest out, empower all of the locations that you have tons of villagers on, and live the dream. As you do see the villagers now making their way over onto this location. The Oracle is in position. We do see a citizen coming over here. Will Tunison throw up sky passages here or not is the big question. So he's just waiting in on that position there. That third town center is about to come up here for Tunison. He hasn't started villager production here either on that other town center. As the market is, the mining camp is up. Joe needs to put up his Migdol stronghold, and we do see some military buildings coming through for Tunison. Tunison's just going to be retreating back for the time being. The units are going to be piling through onto this position. We see a market coming up. Still no Migdol stronghold here for Joe because he doesn't have the resources for it. This is very, very dangerous for Joe, as these units here from Tunison are simply put just distracting into the corner here. Now, Joe does have shifting sands, so he can bring his army over here to defend. We see a Migdol stronghold coming up on this position. I would love Joe to just, once the units come through, just shifting sands these villagers over here. That would be the smartest play. We do see some walls coming up. Tunison coming through here. We do see the villager will spot this. I mean, obviously Joe can just run for the time being if he notices this, and he is going to do so. Villager over there going to getting pulled as well. But the units are in for Tunison to get a little bit of damage done. And Joe is having to make the long trek over onto this gold mine as the citizen does get pulled back here. Some stray units getting taken out as well. And, I mean, what can Tunison do here? He needs to be able to push both sides at once. And he's just not able to do so. Is he still in the classical age? He's not advancing. He's ran out of herdables here, so he's going to need to put a whole bunch of farms down. Luckily, he's got these palm trees around his base that he could be grabbing there as well to reduce the walking time, and he should be fine where that's concerned. But at this point, he's not really doing a whole lot. Sky Pass is coming up on that bottom side there as the walls don't get completed. And I don't see where... Oh, there is a sky passage over here for Tunison. So he can put pressure over here and he can start attacking on this location as well if he so chooses. But the army for Joe is looking very, very scary. Very, very scary. He's also got the access to shifting sands as well at any point here. As units drop through the sky passage, they're going to be popping over here and starting to look for some action. But, I mean, there's really not that many units here for Tunison. As Joe's army comes through here, they're going to just high-five each other. And we do see that Tunison does spot this shockwave coming through to give himself a little bit of a... give Joe a little bit of a warning of what's happening here. As the Petsuchos does get taken down, those axemen are going to absolutely melt the medium, the Murmillo here. Not the medium Murmillo, the naked Murmillo here. As the Terma are also going to getting melted by those chariots as Joe is in such a commanding position right now. Military buildings getting thrown down there by Joe as well. The siege works. More chariot archers, cavalry, classical age units coming through. Tunison is out of sorts. We do see some walls coming down on this position to try and start getting some pressure done. But Joe's 3 town centers here. He's 65 villages. He doesn't have a corner in the map just yet. But he is going to have a very, very easy time of it here to push out and control this top corner very, very shortly here. As Tunison, I mean, at this point, it looks like to me that Tunison, he just hasn't been able to kill any units that Joe has here. Joe's barely lost a single unit here, whereas Tunison has lost tons of stuff at this point in the game. We see the Axeman getting taken down. We got the Promethean starting to come through, but the Pharaoh's in the front here to help deal with those. And Tunison here is still not able to get to that that heroic age here. He does have gold villagers over here. He's got himself pickaxe. He's got himself plow. He's got himself hand axe. No shaft mine here for Tunison would be a very, very helpful thing. As the cavalry coming through to try and take out those Terma on this position here. There's another siege works coming down here as well for Joe. We'll see if Joe can make these make this push work. Because I mean, at this point, Tunison, he basically needs to be in the heroic age. He needs to have access to Contarius here. Contarius is the only unit that really works against the composition that Joe's made here. And mass Contarius at that. You can't just have like a piddly couple of like 3 or 4 Contarius. You need to have like 20 Contarius out to push through this army that Joe's got. We do see Tunison throwing down some military barracks here. But the other thing that's going to be coming here for Tunison, which is very, very important, is Osiris is going to be on the way very, very shortly here. Joe's economy is absolutely insane. He's got himself irrigation. He's got himself shaft mine. He's got himself hand axe. Don't need anything else. Just those upgrades. You're going to be in a really good position. And now we see Horus. Horus coming through for Joe. Joe doesn't want to play this one slowly. He wants to end this game right here, right now. We'll see what's going to happen as the Chariot Arch is trying to come through and snipe a villager there. Good garrison micro from Tunison to dodge the arrows there. Joe does have hand axe. It's a very surprising Joe. Joe's playing this game very nicely here. He's the once forgetting. He once forgot plow as Ra in a tournament game at some point, and we've made fun of him ever since. But he's actually doesn't do that very often. As we see immediately, Contarius starting to come through here for Tunison. Tons of military barracks getting dropped down now as well. Tunison is at 26 villages. He's got full villages. We see Joe here, 35% through to the Mythic Age here. And we see the rock coming in. This is going to be brutal. The village... Oh. I love this play from Joe. The Shifting Sands is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The rock is flying in. The villagers are in position. They have themselves Skin of the Rhino here. The rock moves in. The units drop in onto this position. The town center gets taken down. The Chariot Archers are over here as well. The next step is to send the rock over to Tornado, the hometown center, as it's going to go down to a tornado there 100% of the time, every single time here, ladies and gentlemen. The villagers finish the town center off. You can throw that town center down immediately there with the Pharaoh as well as the Contarius coming through over onto this position. Tunis is only at 130 population here. The Citizen getting taken down as well. The Contarius trying to get in onto the Pharaoh. They do manage to do so. That's going to allow those Tymphalian birds to do tons of damage here. But the settlement will come through. Joe can get priests out on this position. Not only that, he can continue to push through on the front here. The Hesperus tree is in as the Mythic Age just about to pop here for Joe, as Joe's going to be wanting to drop that tornado into the main town center here. 52% of the way through is Helios. The Hesperus tree is down in the right position here, so a tornado getting clicked at the top side of the map might not actually kill the town center here. And we'll see what Joe is going to decide to do as he drops a Migdol stronghold over here. He's at 167 to 180 population. The tornado getting dropped, or not the tornado, the locust getting dropped on this position as the tornado gets dropped as well. Funnily enough, the Citizen will all fall out of this town center and the locust will start picking them off yet again. And in that moment, Tunison taps out as Joe manages to absolutely demolish Tunison in this game. Tunison had no shot here. What a game from Joe. He hits the Mythic Age. He hits the Shifting Sands timing. I mean, it's not like it was fast. It's not like it was like a part of his plan, as like the main part of his plan, but he sees the opportunity. He finds himself in an incredibly strong position, 3 town centers set up, and he just says, look, I just picked up the army. I know my opponent is going to be going straight into Contarius here. He's just hit the heroic age. Let me kill the town center. Let me finish this game right here, right now. Joe claims this series 2-0. And, Well, it's group stages, so everyone's still alive, but Joe has got to be happy about that one. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on this. Please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.